Chuck Schumer just had a total meltdown on the Senate floor, and that tells you everything. When your enemies are screaming, you know that you've won big. President Trump just pulled off something the globalists said was impossible. He just broke Europe, not with missiles or threats, but with pure negotiating genius. And the numbers are so massive, so unprecedented that even Trump's critics at the Wall Street Journal are calling it remarkable. We're talking about a financial victory that reshapes the entire world order. America First isn't just a slogan anymore. It's a reality, backed by cold, hard cash. And the details will blow your mind, so don't go anywhere. Yeah, the numbers are so big, even Trump's golf swing is huge. Now, you probably think that your 401k is safe, but it wasn't designed to make you wealthy. It was built to shift retirement costs and risks onto you, leaving your savings exposed to crashes, inflation, and chaos. But Americans are waking up and taking control with real assets like gold, and Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands secure their future by converting part of their 401k into a tax-advantaged gold IRA without penalties or headaches. It's safe, it's simple, and smart. Visit nextnewsgold.com to get your free wealth protection kit and discover how to safeguard your savings. Open a qualified account today and receive 2 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coins absolutely free. That's nextnewsgold.com, your exit from the danger zone. And call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347. And when you call, tell Colin that I said hello. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. President Trump, this is what's so beautiful. The guy's over there making massive trade deals, and he's opening up a brand new golf course. Here's Bricksuit 7 hours ago writing that no pressure, just the first tee shot ever on your new golf course with the world press watching. President Trump drives it over 290 yards down the middle of the fairway. Watch. Boom! Yeah, baby.
Well done.
Yeah. There he is. Let's watch that. I want to see this. I want to see his swing.
The 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Let's go, baby. Any golfers out there watching right now? I try to golf. But... Boom! Look at that swing. Beautiful swing. Beautiful swing. Yeah. That is the boss right there. Now, there is some controversy that has been circulating with President Trump. Winnipeg handshake 2 days ago writes, never trust a man that cheats at golf. Trump's caddy caught dropping a ball for him. And then, of course, dropping some nasty remarks. But, okay, so you watch this. I want you to watch this, see what's going on here.
Soccer.
Oh, what's that? Did you see that?
Soccer.
The caddy right there dropping a ball. And everyone's saying that President Trump is cheating. But is he really cheating? Well, according to USGA rules, Rule 14, a caddy may drop a ball if authorized by the player, but it must be from knee height in a designated relief area after declaring relief for an unplayable ball. The video shows a surreptitious drop without apparent procedure, which violates rules on proper dropping and could be playing from a wrong place, thus cheating, incurring penalties, or disqualification for misconduct. So, was he actually cheating there? I don't know. You guys be the judge. You going to give him a mulligan or not? I don't know. I'll give the guy a mulligan. Okay. So President Trump enjoying the day at his new golf club.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, give me those bagpipes any day of the week. Man, they just hit you. They hit you right here. Okay? Every time I hear it. The man walking out to the bagpipes on his brand new golf course. Beautiful moment to witness. And shortly thereafter, he actually had to cut this short, his trip there, because he had to put out fires back home. I'm told by sources inside the White House that he had to leave emergency and to get back to Washington, D.C. I'm told that he had to stop another war. That's what I was told. So President Trump there, just after securing a massive EU trade deal. Here's President Trump, though, mocking President Biden just a couple hours ago on Air Force One after he departed, that his golf swing in Scotland was strong. Listen to this.
Did you get to see my drive in the first hole?
You hit it straight and pretty hard.
I did. Pretty long. Pretty long. That's no Joe Biden, let me tell you. That's not Biden, right? That was a good drive. Did you get to see my drive in the first hole?
You hit it straight and pretty hard.
I did. Pretty long.
Oh, yeah. I have friends there who are on that trip, and that's all I could say about that. Now, this person being critical to the person who posted that about President Trump cheating, you expose yourself as an unsophisticated moron. We know you have never been on a golf course, so get yourself a little book called Rules of Golf, published by USGA and RA. Learn to read, and then read the book, try to concentrate. Read the part about taking a drop, then shut your mouth. Okay, so here is President Trump, Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative giving an update from Stockholm following the latest round of trade talks with China.
Built on Geneva, Stockholm, built on London and Geneva. I think we had great momentum going into the meeting thanks to the president's trade deals. I think that the Chinese were surprised by the magnitude of the Japan deal, by the magnitude and the terms of the European deal. So I think that they're never compliant, but I believe that they were in more of a mood for a wide-ranging discussion.
You know what that is, folks? That's called the art of the deal on the global stage.
The discussion centered on the two economies. We had a very in-depth report on them, on the Chinese economy. We gave a very detailed report on the U.S. economy. We talked about the trade deals that we were doing with other countries. We expressed our concern about Chinese overcapacity globally and what that might mean for this year, for the next few years. We expressed our concern for their purchases of sanctioned Iranian oil, of which they buy about 90%. We also expressed our regret that we believe that they had sold Russia about $15 billion of dual-use technologies. But the overall tone of the meetings was very constructive, and I will pass it over to Ambassador Greer.
Okay, so China, negotiations still happening. President Trump also, check this out. This is from a podcast he did. Talking about, I'm just shifting gears here. Talking about having a ballroom at the White House. Listen to this.
For UK, in the White House, as you know, for 150 years, they've wanted to have a ballroom. They don't have a ballroom. They have meeting rooms. They have those beautiful, you've interviewed me in those rooms.
Yes.
But they have beautiful meeting rooms, but they never had a ballroom. A ballroom meaning someplace they could sit 600 or 700 people.
Yes.
If the president of China or France or UK or Ursula
Yes.
comes to town, you give them a big state dinner. We don't have a room like that. At the White House, they have to use a tent. And if it's raining, it's soaking wet, soggy. The area is a very low area. All the water rushes to it. And it's a disaster. So I said, if I win this second term, I'm going to build a ballroom, beautiful ballroom for the White House. And we actually have a really beauty, but that's a beauty right there. I said, I could take that right now and put
It's
it
enormous.
in.
8 chandeliers.
It's a beautiful room, and it's a very successful room. And they need that at the White House. They can't do the kind of things that they'd like to do. Their big room, which is really a beautiful reception room, but not as a ballroom.
So how long will it take to finish that ballroom?
So we'll start in 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, and we'll have it completed in less than 2 years.
Wow.
It's a very incredible structure. I mean, a lot of it's the interior work. It's going to be beautiful. I'd rather, because normally I could build a building like that in 4 or 5 months. but it's very intricate inside. It's beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. The best marbles. It'll be a great tribute to the White House. It's going to be something. But they've wanted it for 150 years. And other presidents have talked about it, but it never got done.
Oh, you're the builder, the first builder.
I'm the builder.
Yeah.
I know how to do it. In the White House.
Imagine that's going to be absolutely beautiful. President Trump creating a ballroom. Okay, so President Trump, here's the big one. President Trump returning home from Scotland with $1 trillion. And now he wants to share the wealth with 600 stimulus checks for everyone. Jesse Waters right. Europe says daddy ate them for breakfast. Move over $1 million man. Trump is the $1 trillion man now. Listen to this.
How lopsided. Trump went to Scotland and came home today with $1 trillion.
It is the biggest deal ever made, I guess you could say. It's certainly the biggest trade deal ever made. You know, they're buying $750 billion worth of our energy. You know, they're going to invest $600 or $650 billion into the United States, and they're going to invest probably $300 billion for the military, maybe $400 billion in military equipment separately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive deal for everybody.
Europe's our biggest trading partner, and Trump just opened up the whole continent to American companies, protected our steel industries, and made them buy over $1 trillion of our stuff. Then he capped it off with some golf.
Please welcome onto the tee the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump cut the ribbon on his brand new golf course in Aberdeen, but something happened on 18.
You were playing golf, weren't you, on this beautiful golf course in Western Scotland? And what happened at the 18th hole?
Well, I'm looking down the 18th hole, and I'm looking down, and in the distance, I mean, it's a pretty far distance, but it doesn't matter. These things are massive, and you're looking at these ugly windmills. It's a con job saying the environmentalists want it, because I can't believe they really want it. Kills the birds, ruins the look. They're noisy. If you see them from your house is worth like 50% or more less.
He was crushing drives and Europeans all weekend, and even had time to go take a spin in Golf Force One. It's a new Secret Service golf cart, and Primetime is trying to find out what's in it. The nuclear football, snipers, armored caddies, we'll let you know. After 4 years of Biden, Democrats can't believe how much Trump's coming back with. Chuck says the deal is too good to be true.
Trump would have you believe it's the biggest deal ever. That's his words. Dangling $250 billion of new energy purchases and more in new investments. There's just one hiccup. It's fake.
Schumer's a trade deal denier. Even the Europeans admitted they got smoked.
What are the U.S. concessions? What is the U.S. giving up in the deal, if anything?
So the starting point was an imbalance, a surplus on our side and a deficit on the U.S. side. And we wanted to rebalance the trade relation. I think we hit exactly the point we wanted to find.
Europe just admitted the U.S. didn't concede a single thing. We gave up nothing and got everything. And now Brussels is beating itself up over how lopsided this deal was. They say there's no hiding the fact that the EU was rolled over by the Trump juggernaut. Trump worked out exactly where our pain threshold is. Hungary says Trump ate Ursula for breakfast. We suspected this would happen as the U.S. president's a heavyweight when it comes to negotiations, while Madam President is a featherweight. Hillary, Mamala, and now Ursula. He's 3-0 against women. Belgium says it's scandalous how badly Europe negotiated this deal, and the French call it an outright surrender. And France would know. MSNBC actually was annoyed that Europe didn't win.
It's a moment when the EU could have played with him a little bit, cat and mouse a little bit. They have more leverage than, giving in this quickly and easily, I think.
Remember how they said Trump was a taco president, a.k.a. Trump always chickens out? Well, the world chickened out. Europe called him daddy, and daddy just gave him a spanking. And now
daddy just gave him a spanking. Oh, man, President Trump bringing home the bacon. Crybaby alert. Bill Maher stops crying long enough to admit Trump was right. Somewhere between a smug eye roll and his third shot of Don Julio, Bill Maher finally cracked. He's crying because the economy didn't collapse. The one Trump wasn't supposed to keep afloat, the one Bill swore would crash and burn under tariffs, but instead the market's soaring, jobs didn't vanish, and Bill's left whispering, I gotta own it. Listen.
Now, people were saying at the beginning, by the 4th of July, somebody had to think how the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me, but that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's
okay. So, yeah, Bill, it's because that's what the media was pushing down everyone's throats and trying to scare everybody. Okay, and apparently you bought it.
Boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty, because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look, the stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive.
I slurring a little bit there.
Around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to fucking sink this economy by this time, and they didn't. So, how do we deal with that fact? Because that's the fact.
Yeah, that's the fact. At least he is owning up to that reality that he was hoodwinked. Here's more from that Chuck Schumer, his tears on the Senate floor over President Trump's massive trade deal. Donald Trump is, as usual, trying to hype up, exaggerate, and lie about his accomplishments.
Families pay. Over the weekend, Donald Trump announced a new trade deal with the European Union. It will result in a $90 billion per year tax hike on American families. When you raise tariffs, the American families pay for it. $90 billion tax on American families.
Okay, Chuck. Get them Kleenex out, dry your eyes for a minute, and maybe you should go watch what Bill Maher just said. Okay, about the tariffs tanking the economy. I mean, these guys, Chuck Schumer here, is still saying it's going to tank the economy. Yeah.
In this tariff deal with the European Union, Donald Trump is, as usual, trying to hype up, exaggerate, and lie about his accomplishments. Donald Trump always lies, almost always lies about his accomplishments, and this is no exception.
He's reading from his notes. He couldn't even figure out the next word on the page without turning it. Okay, Chuck, maybe you need to get better speech writers. Okay, Iowa agriculture expert says a new deal with the European Union is a big step in the right direction.
But Iowa ag experts say
the EU is one of our major trading partners.
A new deal with the European Union is a big step in the right direction. Iowa State University economist Chad Hart says that's because it doesn't add any new tariffs on U.S. goods.
It's a major coup right there alone, because typically if you want to raise a tariff on a country, they will typically raise right back on you. And that's not what we're seeing in these trade frameworks that are being announced by the president.
But Iowa
President Trump winning all day long. Here's Kevin O'Leary. Love this guy, saying, Mr. Wonderful, just said that as a result of Trump's home run EU trade deal, major manufacturing facilities will move to the United States now.
Huge to them. For them already, the French and the German are whining this morning about this deal, or this potential deal. But the only reason they care is pharmaceuticals and automotive. We are so huge to them in those sectors, so huge, so massive, so important that they have to come to the table. And, this is a big deal. And so that's why you're hearing, oh, yeah, well, that's $500 billion here and all that. They're going to move these pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities to the U.S. because this is their market. And so Trump's getting that win. But I don't think we're done yet. I mean, the EU is it's the biggest deal there is.
You're making the case that the headwinds will come from the other EU partners. against this deal?
I'm saying the headwinds are in the details. You know, already they want protections against things like automotive in their direction. Oh, we don't sell many cars. Nobody's buying a Ford 150 truck in Switzerland or, you know, in France. You can't fit them on the street, let alone your driveway. So,
but isn't this the problem with the EU fundamentally? Is that a handful of people make decisions in Brussels that affect all the countries?
For them already, the French and the German
are much the problem there. So, big wins for President Trump, from the golf course to the EU to returning home on an emergency trip to stop another war. If you got value from this report, subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what winning looks like. $750 billion in energy purchases, $600 billion in corporate investment, manufacturing flooding back into American soil. The EU didn't just blink, they surrendered. For decades, we've watched American jobs disappear overseas while politicians made excuses. And Trump just reversed 40 years of globalist wealth transfer in one masterful deal. Even Kevin O'Leary admits pharmaceutical and automotive giants are packing up and coming home. The experts said tariffs would destroy us. Instead, we are collecting tribute like ancient Rome. Iowa farmers celebrating, Wall Street's admitting defeat, and Chuck Schumer's having a nervous breakdown. This isn't just economics. It's the restoration of American dominance. So here's my question for you. Is Trump the greatest negotiator to ever occupy the White House? Drop a yes or no in the comments. And what do you think about this new White House ballroom that he's about to make? Oh, that's going to be beautiful. And make sure you grab some American Badass merch to celebrate this historic victory. Pick your favorite member of the administration, or you can help us expose President Otto Penn, or support that all-inclusive resort down in Florida, Alligator Alcatraz.